Have you ever wondered what it's like to get lost in a surreal underground subway station, never knowing what lurks around the corner? Well, if you haven't already heard of it, the Exit 8 is a relatively new and popular spot the difference walking simulator that explores liminal spaces. In this case, the player is tasked with wandering through a maze-like underground subway station in Japan to find an exit. In the real world, and pardon my butchering of the names of the places, but Exit 3 at Kiyosumi Shirakawa Station probably serves as a general basis for the game's aesthetic and can be seen on Google Maps, which I'll link in the description. A few other examples of other stations out in the wild, like Exit 8 of Burakucho Station and Exit E1 of Shinjuku Sanchime Station, also lend to the design. So it's just interesting to note the real-world crossovers and creative inspirations behind the scenes. We've been seeing an influx of games within this genre recently, essentially planting a new subgenre within horror and walking simulators, though the game is more unsettling and psychologically taxing than it is scary in the normal sense of horror. It's like a never-ending dream that you can't escape from, and as soon as you think you're about to wake up, it starts all over again. It is, at the same time, very frustrating and also very addictive, keeping you on the edge of your seat and fully engaged with the environment. And I found a strange nostalgia within the game that scratched a peculiar itch that I didn't even know needed to be scratched. When we launched the game, a man walks toward us in a corridor, likely a commuter making his way to work, as he's dressed in business attire and carries a briefcase. Advertisement posters line the wall to our left, some doors and vents are fixed to the right, and we begin walking. Our first pass brings us around to a sign that reads Exit 0, and we seem to loop back around to the same original scene. After looking for clues and coming up a bit short, another sign on the wall provides us with a simple set of instructions. Don't overlook any anomalies. If you find anomalies, turn around immediately. If you don't find anomalies, do not turn back. And to go out from Exit 8. Seems simple enough. Loop around the path while attempting to spot anomalies. If we see something that seems off, then we turn around to progress, and if everything seems normal, we continue forward. The sign changes from Exit 0 to Exit 1, and so on as we successfully complete a loop, but returns back to 0 if we miss something or otherwise fail our attempt at making a loop. My first instinct was to pay close attention to the man, probably just because he was creeping me out. I also paid attention to the posters on the left side of the corridor, assuming that the numbers or the content would change in really subtle ways. So I tried to burn them into my memory as best as I could. The signs on the wall with eyes, stating that security cameras are in operation, lends to the odd feeling of being watched, and the cameras mounted on the ceiling throughout the path help with the same. Many different anomalies, some more subtle than others, would have me stumped, thinking that everything was normal, when in fact an anomaly was indeed present, and I had somehow missed it. Some of the more obvious ones include things like the man smiling, or missing half of his face, the lights flickering, or the posters on the wall changing or repeating. And the most obvious of all is the flooding of red water that you must run away from, or one of my favorite anomalies, the two men standing in the middle of the path. After a handful of failed attempts and about 35 minutes later, I finally complete a full loop and make my way to the final staircase, making sure I didn't miss anything on the final go around as I previously had. Nothing crazy at the end, just the ability to leave and complete the game, watch the credits, and see a sign on the wall stating, "All anomalies found, thank you for using our underground passageway." And by the time I finished the game, it stuck with me for the next day. A part of me yearned to continue exploring the underground station, while another part of me was relieved that I finally escaped. And now I'm officially a fan of this subgenre. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more similar content, horror playthroughs, and some other cool upcoming things I've been cooking up. See you next time. And if you'd like to stick around, here's my successful playthrough uninterrupted.